house in North Douglas, which is in Juneau, Alaska. And as you can see, we're in a really pretty place to work. Nice views, real good weather for this time, any time of year when it's like this. We get about 100 inches of rain here in Juneau. And if you don't do the details right, you have problems. Let me tell you what happened here. So, when they installed the windows, they put some bitchethane or an ice and water type dam product on the seal and then lapped it down, and then they had some sticky side here, and then they put building paper over the top of the window flange here and stuck it to the building paper. But just like so it's acting like a bucket for the water to go into. But dear Liza, you know there's gonna sooner or later be a hole in the bucket. And that's what happened. And so the water got into behind the building paper. And this was OSB, as you can see, the original. And it rotted this whole area out. It rotted the sheathing out. It rotted the studs out, and the rim joist, and the sill plate. And it even started to rot out the king down below. So now we've done all the replacement of it, surgically taken care of it so that to minimize the damages and the work that we had to do. And now we're putting it back together. And so the reason why I'm making this video is because I figured that I just wanted to share with people my experience, and hopefully that it can help you out someday if you have something similar. So come on over here. By the way, I'm Brad Curie, and this is Pete that is working with me. This is my buddy Pete. He's a good hand. So you can see that I'm starting to make the preparation, the laps of where we're going to be butting in the new siding. First of all, what I wanted to establish is where the studs are in the wall. There is nails that are in here into the siding, but you can't assume that those go into the studs. And quite often, many of these are off, 2 inches or even more. So we took off some siding and we established where the center line of a stud, presuming that they're doing the house on 16 inches on center, right? I mean, we have to make that assumption. So based on that assumption, and this house was built in the 90s, late 90s or early 90s, I can't remember, but so we have a mark here that we've transferred all the way so that we can go over the distance of 16 inches on center for starting to make our cuts. These are some areas where we're making our cuts. You see here we've made a cut, and the way that we're doing these cuts is we're pulling out the siding just a little bit, and then we're getting a pry bar underneath the nail. So like here would be one area right here. This one's actually loose. So, and then we want to back it up with something like so, and then pull out the nail. I don't have to pull this nail out because I'm not going to take it out. If anything, it needs to go in a little bit because we're done with it. So and what we want to do is we want to loosen these boards up here and put a shim underneath where we're going to cut. Once again, I've already cut here, but I put a shim all the way up under here, and I also put a shim under here too as well, so that I can get a feed after drawing my line. I can get a feed with a nice sharp blade, and I can cut this right up here and make a joint for where the siding's going to go. If you're not really comfortable with doing it freehand, which I am, and I prefer, you can use a guide, and use that guide to help you with coming it right up into this as far as you can, going at a slight angle inward so that it's more proud on the front by a degree or two than it is on the back. And then the last part that's up here, you can get this out a little bit more, and you can come up with a cutter like that, and you can finish off the upper part of the siding. So what we want to do here, being that this is a repair and it's not a new siding job, we have to pick our fight. This is the back of a house. It doesn't really get seen that much, so these are not super optimum where you have it 16 inches apart, and here we have another one that's skipped on 2. But you know, once again, you have to pick your fight, and you have to know when to go fast and when to go slow. When to go slow is on the waterproofing details, like this bitcha-thing right here. You notice the bitcha-thing is up behind the cut, and it goes and it laps over our bevel siding that's below it, so that any water that gets into this joint right here falls right on down and is out. It doesn't rely upon maintenance cost or anything like that. Now what we do on the raw edges right here is we take some Benjamin Moore Fresh Start, an oil-based primer, and we prime all of the areas, all of the cuts that are coming together. And that way it even further helps to protect the system and to keep the wood from absorbing water in the end grains. And so this is where we're at right here on this job. And as far as getting the bitcha thing, well, the Grace
Vicor, call it
Vicor. And they used to call it bitcha thing, but I guess they call it something different now. But anyway. So we put a shim under there, and here we're going to get this out there. We take out the dust, make sure everything looks cool on it. It's pretty sticky. And now we're going to feed this right up the wall. And stick it to it. And there is a beautiful lap that water won't go behind and get into the building paper system. Always out. Keep the water going out. That's what I say. That works for me, and I hope it works for you.